Hello everyone, this is ManuS and welcome to another Eternal News video. So today we got a handful of new spoilers to talk about, as well as briefly take a look at the new polish update that Direwolf rolled out in the last couple days. Because yeah, the game looks a lot nicer now and you can really feel that we are fastly approaching release, which might happen like in the next couple months. Alright, so let's take a look. First of all, I want to take a look at the client real quick. I'll highlight a couple of the changes. Like for example, if we take a look at the collection, you can see the cards are like sorted a bit differently, like a bit different positionally. The crafting button that was here is here and looks a bit different. The search also has been moved up. And yeah, the filter button also looks different because basically all the like button type things in deck building and collection now have this style. Like I can show you. Would like just a deck list. Here we get a bit bigger and better power curve thing. The deck image is a bit smaller, which isn't a bad thing because it's not really necessary. We have a clearer, bigger bar here that clearer indicates the amount of cards in the deck. And we also have a clearer button that shows us that we can actually change the view of the deck, because it was kind of bad that you needed to click the power curve or the card, because if you don't read the tip on the waiting screen, like in matchmaking, you might not find that out. So now if we click here, we get the extended deck view, which also looks a bit nicer. Curve is bigger. We finally have a separation by card types, units, attachments, spells, power. So that's really nice. Makes it easier to look at and nicer sorted. And we have all the functions here on the left and a bit bigger and easier to spot. So that's also really cool. You can take a look at the profile. The profile didn't really change. Seems everything here is the same. Unfortunately, there's something that popped up when I logged in. And yeah, you get to choose four kinds of player types and get 500 gold for it. I didn't quite really get to see it because I accidentally clicked on it when the client was starting up, so I just randomly selected one and then had to like ask people what that was about because I couldn't find what I did there. And yeah, also the quests look a bit different. They look a lot cooler actually, I think. So that's nice. Looks more polished and yeah, more modern. It's a cool look. And yeah, the updates are still kind of is the same. Just have some overhaul descriptions here. And yeah, in-game I think nothing really has changed, but I'm not sure right now. And they also overhauled the campaign massively. I mean, I haven't checked the new tutorial campaign yet, but yeah, there's also like a massive overhaul that hopefully solves the issue of the old onboarding campaign being terrible and actively deterring some people from trying out the game, even people that don't need the tutorial because they like played Magic and they just want to get going and they are like annoyed by having to go through this like unfun long campaign. Anyway, time to look at the spoilers. Okay, so first off we have Sandstorm Scarf. Yes, this is real. It's not just a meme, it's a meme and a real card. There was like a really hilarious post by Scarlet where he was like, yeah, this is a meme, it's also real. So the Sandstorm Scarf meme that supposedly is the part that makes stuff not being able to fly just became a real card, so that's pretty ridiculous and kind of cool, I guess, that they take these memes and run with them, because I'm pretty sure this card was born of the meme and not just before the meme happened, because I mean there's not really much connection between a Sandstorm Scarf and units not being able to fly even within the lore, because I mean, a sandstorm makes units not able to fly, but not a scarf that protects you from a sandstorm. Like, it's kind of the opposite. Like, you would, flavor-wise, you would think like a sandstorm scarf that protects you from the sandstorm might even allow you to keep flying, if anything. So yeah, pretty cool meme, and otherwise probably not a very relevant card, because investing a card to basically silence the flying part temporarily on your opponent's units is not something you usually want to invest a card in. So yeah, no surprise there. And on to the next card. Crunch the Hoarder, another crazy Yeti, another hero. 3/3 for 3 power. In Skycrack colors, it has Overwhelm, and on Infiltrate you can draw 2 cards, then you get to discard a card. If the discarded card was a spell or an attachment, Crunch gets Berserk. And as we just learned, Berserk means you can, instead of attack normally, you can attack by going Berserk, and then the unit gets Reckless, and the turn you go Berserk, the unit gets readied and can attack a second time if it survived the first attack. So yeah, that's kind of nice. The Overwhelm helps with the Infiltrate. It's the first non-Feln Infiltrate card, I think. So that's also kind of like another keyword branching out in other colors. And yeah, it's a kind of nice card. It probably potentially a bit on the weak side for Constructed, but it has potential to actually do something, because effectively it's a 3/3 Overwhelm that can attack twice in one turn potentially, and also gets you 1 extra card and lets you get rid of a useless card for a random card. So there's definitely a bunch of things that the card can do for you. But it's not the most aggressive card, so it's not necessarily that great in a hyper-aggressive deck like Skycrack Echo, but more in like a mid-rangey aggressive deck. Next we have a really cool new card actually, I think. Jawbone Greatsword, after we already had Jawbone Hatchet. That's like a much bigger jawbone of a different animal, probably a dragon or a dinosaur. And yeah, it's a 5/2 relic weapon, so it's basically the legendary version of Magma Javelin, which is really nice because 4/1 for 4 has the issue of not always being able to kill the things you want to kill, and the difference between like 4/1 and 5/2 is actually pretty big. At least the 5 attack, like the 2 armor, don't make much of a difference. It's not going to survive that often, especially in Constructed, and Limited a bit more often. But yeah, having 5 attack lets you take down a lot more, and also means that with a +1 buff from like an Volcano Artisan or Warcry, you already have the magical 6 attack to take down almost everything. Sandstorm Titan and co. And the other nice thing is it has Tribute. You create and draw an 8/6 brand without fear. I'll show you. The art for it is released as well. Tribute means it's basically a summon effect that checks if a unit went to your void this turn, and then the summon effect happens. So basically, if you say, go to combat, attack on your turn, your opponent trades with a unit of yours, and then post-combat you play Jawbone Greatsword, you get the tribute effect that you get a brand without fear to your hand, which is, as you can see, a 7 power double fire 8/6 with Berserk. And on summon you can sacrifice another unit to give him Overwhelm if you really want to punch through. So this is kind of like a finishing potential type card that you get for free. Just drop it, go Berserk the turn after, throw away unit you don't need so it has Overwhelm so the opponent cannot jump block it twice, and then you just maul through their like small blockers over 2 attacks and attack for like 16 with 1 card in 1 turn. So that's kind of nice. Like as a regular card, it wouldn't be that great, but given that it's like a potential free card off of a 4 power 5/2 relic weapon is pretty cool. And yeah, the card also looks really nice. Like I really like Jawbone Greatsword. It's a nice card and definitely gonna have a relevant impact in Constructed. It's just worse, a bit worse maybe if you're not running a lot of units, because then you need to spend power on like, oh no, actually the attribute only I think applies to units on your side. So if you're a control deck and don't have a lot of units, then it's really hard to trigger the tribute. Because from what I read, it says when a card with tribute is played, it gets a bonus if a unit has gone to your void this turn. So, I mean, it doesn't have to be your unit, but you have to get an enemy unit to your void, which is not very likely. So the best way to get the tribute is just play units yourself, which a control deck usually doesn't do a whole lot. So the tribute is kind of more a bonus thing for mid-range and aggro decks rather than gonna work in control decks. Which limits it a bit, because obviously a control deck might be most interested in a 7-drop that has finishing potential. Last but not least, we have End of the Line. That's another like sort of off-color warp card. A Shredder warp card. It has lifesteal and warp, and it deals 3 damage to 2 enemies of your choice. And with tribute, you get to deal 4 damage to 2 enemies instead of 3. So yeah, not that impressive of a card. It's basically 6 damage, but you can't deal 6 to one target. You can just deal 3 to 2 enemies, like 3 to a unit and 3 to an enemy, or 3 to 2 smaller units. And the tribute upgrading it to 4 is nice, but not that great, especially because, you know, you might want to use that before combat, but you only get the tribute after combat trade happened and stuff. And warp is makes it a bit nicer, but all in all, I think it's unlikely that I would want a 6 cost card like this in my constructed deck, given how narrow and situational it is. But in limited, it's like a bit of a bomb, because it can really generate a lot of value and swing the game hard. So in limited, this is great, but in constructed, this is not likely gonna do too much. So yeah, that's it for today's spoilers. We are getting more and more spoilers, some cool ones, some underwhelming ones, and the game is really pushing forward in terms of spoilers and polish and updates. And yeah, looking forward to the new set and to release. Really excited what the next coming weeks are gonna bring, because it seems like there is a lot happening in Eternal right now. So stay tuned for more Eternal news with spoilers and other updates. And if you enjoyed this, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification button to not miss out on said updates. And yeah, that's it again for today with the latest spoilers. I'm Manu S, this was Eternal News. I thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!